Okay, last session what we discussed till now, how to write a Java program. Now I'll cover a summarize, and this is the last summarization, and then we can start entering the language. So first we have seen how to write a Java program, right? So to write a Java program, what you do? First step is to install Java. Second step is to write Java program. Third step is to compile and execute. So compile and execute. See, installing Java I shown you, writing Java program almost all you got the idea. Now to compile and execute you have to do two things. What you have to do? What you have to do? Yeah, you have to set path and class path. Only then it will compile and execute. Set path and class path. Now this can be done in two places. One is in DOS prompt and the other one is environment variables. What is the difference? DOS prompt temporary and only for single window. Environment variables permanent. It is permanent, but again environment variables also you have two locations where you can do it. Where you can do? User variables. This is permanent and applicable to all windows, all DOS prompts. Okay, so all windows now. So, but again you can do it here. In one is user variables. You can do this in two places. One is in system variables. System variables for all users. And this is for single user. It's better you can do it in system variables. That's it. Clear this? Any questions? Clear, na? Okay. Then after this we saw how you write a means once you install Java. Okay. Then next what you get is you get installing Java over writing Java program. Okay, fine. So then I compared which one C program with or any program with Java also. So that also we saw. What we saw there? Shall I clear this now? This is clear? Then we compared between a C program and we got hello.c. Then when you compile, the output would be hello.exe file. Exe file is nothing but it is containing machine code or native code. Here when you are compiling, who will participate? OS will participate. OS will participate in compilation. And finally you will get the output. So see, this is how the C program gets executed. C or any language program, this is the execution style. C, even C++ also. That's why they are not platform independent, because the compiler will be depending on what? Operating system. Okay, so that's why for Windows you have to install on C, for Linux you have to install another version of C. Installation always depending on the operating system you have to install different versions, compatible versions. Yeah. For Java also the same story, but here what happens is in Java program, installation will do all same, hello.java. You will write compile, this is the source code. Then when you compile that, what you get? Hello.class file. This contains bytecode. As compared to C, this contains what? Bytecode. So how do you compile? By using Java C command. Use Java C command and compile this. And then after you compile, then what we do is we execute by using a Java command. Use Java command, it will get the output to you. It will again after compilation the bytecode will be converted to native code or machine code, and then you will get the output. A very simple mechanism. So here the Java command, actually it is what? It starts the JVM. And it will use to execute. See, earlier for converting the bytecode to native code they are using interpreter. Later on they added JIT, just in time compiler. First in Java first version they were using interpreter. Later on they started using JIT. So whatever it is, Java command starts the JVM, you can take it like that, and the JVM will use JIT, and finally you'll get it will convert it into native code and you'll get the output. Very simple approach. So it is, so here if you see, it is bytecode and JVM put together make the Java portable. Bytecode and JVM put together makes the Java portable. Because to execute your .class file in Java, we always need what? JVM. You cannot execute a bytecode or a .class file or Java program without JVM. If you want to execute Java code, you need JVM. It's mandatory. Now, how do you get the JVM? When you install Java, you'll get it. That's it. When you install Java, you'll start getting the JVM now, and inside the JVM, you can start executing the bytecode. As simple as this. So, how do you get the bytecode now? Compile. You compile, you'll get the bytecode, and that will run in the JVM. And how do you start the JVM? See, there's a difference between installing and starting. There's a difference between installing and starting the JVM. How do you install Java? You know, if you install Java, you'll get the JVM. But to start JVM, you have to type what? Java command. It will start the JVM. It's a virtual machine, it will start. And once it starts, you can give it the name of your class. So this class will be loaded into what? The JVM. It gets loaded into the JVM. This is your JVM. This your demo.class is loaded here. And in this .class, you are having bytecode. Line by line, it is interpreted. But nowadays, they are using JIT, just-in-time compiler. It will compile, means it will convert it into native code. And from native code, you will get the output. Are you clear with this? If not, I'll write it here. So you will have the JVM. From the JVM, what will happen? You will have demo.class loaded here. What will the JVM do? It will interpret, or it will use JIT compiler, converts this into native code, and native code will give the output now. This is the story. So to run Java now in any operating system, you need hardly a JVM. That's it. Okay, so you just need a JVM, and that JVM will vary depending on the operating system and all that. It will vary. For Windows, you'll have one version. For Macintosh, you'll have one version. Why it will differ? Because the installable link files will vary. See, Java software is same, but the installable version changes. Depending on operating system, you'll have to install. I've told you, like see, if you want to use Photoshop, CorelDRAW, application is same, but the version will change. The compatible version will change, the installable version. So what you have to do? For that purpose, depending, you are using Windows, means you have to use the Windows compatible version. So once you install it, now you got the JVM, and your code will run in that JVM. Similarly for Linux also you can run. Are you clear with this? Okay. For doing all this, you set the path and class path. So let's finish off last time that path and class path also. If that is finished, the Java is done. So we will get into programming now. So then, setting path. What is path and path? The class path now? Path is the variable name used by operating system, used by OS to locate exe files or binary files, anything you can say. This is used by JVM to locate and load .class files. That's all. So to guide it. So path, you know, it's almost all clear for you. Class path, one thing we are doing, we are putting semicolon dot semicolon C drive colon JDK. Roughly I'll write 1.6 slash Java. What is the location you give? Java. Roughly I'm writing JDK 1.6 slash lib slash, I think, no, GRE slash lib, I think. No, slash lib slash tools.java. This is the location. So I give these two locations. Why do you give dot? Because see, you'll be writing your programs in these folders. D colon, okay, edit plus examples. You'll be writing your program somewhere. August 2013. Then you're having Ravi Kumar. Then you'll have Java examples. You'll have core Java, then 01 simple program. This is the location where you're writing. So you're going to type here Java demo. So now when you type this, path variable will be used. Java C demo.java. Sorry, Java C demo.java. If I type Java C will be used, path variable will be used by OS now. Okay. The OS will use the path variable to locate where is this exe file, and it will execute that. And what is the Java C command going to do? If you give the .java file, it is going to compile. That is okay. Now you have to start the JVM. So that's when you start typing Java. Again, the Windows operating system uses the path variable to locate the exe file. But to start JVM, we need tools.jar. So that is when the class path will come into picture. So class path, see now, dot means it looks in the current folder. Which folder? 01 simple program. There it will not find anything. So next it will go to the next one. Which is the next one? Tools.jar. There it will find all the classes, required classes. See, we set this one to load built-in classes. Remember that. This path is set for loading. This value are giving for loading built-in classes. Dot is given for loading our dot class files. Understood the difference now? Dot is used for loading our classes, and this one is used for loading what? Loading built-in classes. Built-in classes means which one? String, system, and all that. And tools.jar knows where is rt.jar. Tools.jar knows where is rt.jar. As simple as this. Are you clear? Very simple now. See, if you are clear with this much, coding becomes very easy further. So that's why I am stressing so much on this topic here. Clear? Because next we'll be focusing only on what? Programs. Clear this? The entire execution process is done for you. So then I think we are finished with this. I think what else we covered yesterday? How to write simple programs. Yesterday I covered C syntax and all that. Okay. I think that's done, pretty much done now. And semicolon is used for termination here. Semicolon is used for termination. Dot, I should terminate now. So that's why I'm using semicolon. Markers ಬರೀತಿಲ್ಲ ಲೈಟ್ ಬರೀತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, so then we type the simple programs, and once you type the simple programs, we saw how to write the simple programs also. So fine, everything is okay till now, but only the one bad thing what we are facing right now, problem what we are facing now is the editor. Java is good, everything is good, we saw everything. Okay, but the problem what we are facing right now is the editor. It's not a user-friendly editor, Notepad. It's very difficult to type and all that problems we are facing. So what we start doing is we start using sophisticated editors, more powerful editors. Like example is, see there are many editors. Edit Plus, TextPad, so many are there. You can use any editor to type the Java program, not an issue. And you are having more powerful editors like Eclipse and all. These are all average editors or moderate editors. Editor, it is an editor. You understand what is an editor now? The place we can type. Okay, so these are very high level editors. And one of the simple editor what you use is what? Notepad. Understood? So at least I start showing you now. Which one now? Edit Plus. I start showing you Edit Plus. How to install Edit Plus and all, I'll show you now. So once we install Edit Plus, we start coding here. We can use TextPad also, but we'll be using here Edit Plus. Almost all same. So I'll see the benefits of using this. So to install this, you know we have given you the what? Softwares. We are giving you the softwares. In that folder you'll be finding it. Which one? Edit Plus. So let's see where it is and how to install. So start using Edit Plus. It's more comfortable. We'll start seeing now. So E drive means we have got the folder now. In that cluster softwares, what you do? Open it. You'll be finding Java editors. One folder will be there. In that, if you open, you'll find editplus.zip file. Okay. Decompress it. First you have to extract now. Extract it into the same location. Fine. So once it is done, see. I believe you know. I have entered the folder now. You know how to install now? How? Double click. So start off now. You're very good in all this. Setup. Yes. Say it will ask the location. C drive program files. Simply say what? Start. And it will give 3 options. Create the shortcut on desktop. You want the shortcut of Edit Plus on desktop now? Yes. And you can add it to the menu. Means when you right click, open with. You want the this one option. So you can enable all the 3. Let it be as it is. Okay, and also it will add it to. Sorry. This will add it to. Create shortcut. Send to menu. Okay, then it will add to right click mouse button. Okay, all these options you just say okay. So once it is done, installation is over. Very simple installation, and this is done now. So once it is done, you can close all this now. Restart, it's asking. Generally it doesn't ask. It's asking. Fine. We'll restart, no problem. Okay. So generally for Edit Plus it will not ask. No problem. Just restart it. So taking. Okay. I think it's not restarted. Fine. So then you start using Edit Plus to type now. See, this is the shortcut which has come onto the desktop. If you want, you can use here, or you can go to programs. You can find it here also. Here it will come. Or you can go to all programs. You can see it here now. I think it is coming here itself. Okay, fine. So it's coming here. You can use it to open that also. In the programs also you'll get it, or you have got on shortcut onto the desktop. So open it. So you'll get the screen. Just say I agree. That's it. Just say I agree. It's an evaluation trial period. It is on, what is that? Trial version what we are using. So just you say I agree. Finished. Now you can start typing your programs. How you type? You know, file, new. You can click Java here. You can click Java. As soon as you click Java, see now, some of the code will be automatically generated. Like class, published. It's simple. Extra things what you want, you can go on writing now inside this. So if you want to type now, what you'll do? Class, you can give the name. Everything is same. It's only on good editor. So what is the advantage of using this editor is here. The keywords are highlighted in blue color. That's the advantage. Then the class names are highlighted in red color. Okay, so like this it goes on highlighting. By chance if I make a mistake here, like I'll type capital P, so it is not getting highlighted. So it can you can debug easily here. But whereas in Notepad, it's very difficult to identify what you have coded. That's a simple advantage. There are more advantages with this editor. Slowly you start seeing now. So you have to save this file now. So how will you save? Balaji, I think that system has been shut down. Okay, 1 second. So you go to your folder now. Which folder? August 2013. Anidya. 1 second. Okay, go to August 2013. You have your other folders. So there only you can create. Today's third day now. 03 simple program. I think I'm using another PC here. 1 second. I'll come back again. I'll start off newly. After installing Edit Plus, just double click. It will open up. First time it will ask you this option. First time. Okay. Just say evaluate. First time. Done. And you say I agree. That's it. First time you do this. So after that you can start coding. How will you code? File, new, what? Java. That's it. So the font size will be a bit small. If you want, you can increase the font size. View. Sorry. Tools you go to increase the fonts. See, I'm coming. You know where I'm going now? Tools. Configure user tools. Fonts. You can increase now. I'll keep it to 11 and I'll make it bold so that it will be visible for you clearly. I think I'll increase one more font. Tools. Fonts. I'll make it 12. Okay, apply. Okay. This will be okay. Fine. So the program is ready now. So what you have to do is, still more bigger font you want? Is it visible? Better? Okay, so then class I can give a name now, and next you have to save your file now. Same thing, all are same, nothing else, no difference, only the editor is changing. Copy it, save. Where will you save now? Computer, you have to go to D drive, edit plus examples, August 2013, Ravi Kumar, Java examples, core Java. You came to your location, so there you save now. Right click, new, what? Folder 03 simple program. We are still continuing with simple program only. Clear? So there you can save it. Now save it as demo. What is the extension you'll give? .java. Done. Save it. So now typing is done, coding is done, and you saw the benefit of this editor. Correct? The keywords are highlighted, built-in classes will go like this and all that. So now it's ready, program is ready. Now what to do? To compile. You have to compile now. How do you compile? You have to go to DOS prompt. Yes or no? Path has been set. You can directly start compiling and executing. You don't have to set the path and class path now because you have set it in system variables. So what you do? Take the path now. Where is your location now? Windows C, D drive, edit plus, August, Ravi Kumar, Java examples, core Java, simple program. Okay, this is the location. So take this path, go to DOS prompt. You are in DOS prompt, say CD, then what you put? Paste that, you are in the location, go D colon, yes, you are in the location, start typing now, Java C. If you want, you can see this is the view, back. Back, what is there? Only on .java file is there. Now I'll compile, see what happens. Everything is same, only the editor is changing, man. Only the editor is changing. It's a colorful editor. Everything remains same. It compiles. Dot class has got generated. Later on, what I'll do? I'll execute Java demo. That's it. Perfect. It executes. What is there? Everything is same. Only the editor we change. It's a colorful editor, and you can type programs easily here. Stuff notepad. So that's the one benefit. And more benefits are there in this. Okay. See, if I want, I can write. I can do more things here. Yesterday I showed you how to add and all that. If you want, you can write the same code. See here, int a is equal to 10. Fine. See how colorful it is. Int b is equal to 20. Fine. Int c is equal to a plus b. Fine. Then see alignment also. As soon as I press enter, see where the cursor comes. It will come directly there. In Notepad, what's happening? It's going here. You have to align it. Big headache. Okay, a lot of advantages. We'll see what are all the advantages of this editor. System.out.println. See, whatever you put in double quotes is coming in what? Pink color. Yes or no? So it looks more clear here. You can debug very easily. Value of A is done. Done. Now program is ready. You can, if you want, you can execute. Again compile. You have to compile every time. Remember, the old dot class has to be replaced with new one. Java C compiles, executes. Coding becomes more easier. Understood? So you have to compile and we can compile and execute like this. It's as simple as this. Done. So after it is done, next what you will do is this is done, and now see more things also you can code here. Like example, if I want to comment, I'm just showing you how to use the editor. Comments are highlighted like this: single line comment, multi-line comment. See, more colorful. Then if I want, see, I'll type just if, or I'll try to write for loop. For loop I'll write for. Just I'll press space. Nothing else I'm doing. Space. You can see the keywords are getting highlighted. So these are the better benefits you get. I can write some logic here. Int I is equal to 0. I is equal to 0. I less than 5. I plus plus. And I found I can print system dot out dot println value of I is plus I same, and I can go and put the semicolon. Okay, so this is how you can start coding now. Value of I is understood. So now again, if you want, you can compile. So how will you compile? Java C demo.java Java demo. See, it prints loop. So here, what are you trying to understand? The Java is following what syntax? C syntax. Java is following what syntax? C syntax. Purely, all of you know C. So Java is following full C syntax. So you don't have to worry anything about syntax here. All of you know syntax here. It's not a problem. Only we have to learn here. Oops. 100% C syntax. Okay. So if you want, you can go with if block also. See there. I'll just show you more things. If. Okay. Before that, I'll declare one variable to use it. Int z is equal to 5. And I'll write some logic. If z is greater than 3. I can write any logic here. Okay. So system.out.println z is greater than 3. I can write. So whatever you want to print, put it in double quotes. That's it. Z is greater than 3. Else. See, almost all C syntax. Whatever code you want to write. It's as simple as that. Z is lesser than 3. Full C syntax. See there. Clear? So again you have to go.
Declaration.
Okay, int I have to do. Fine. So again I have to go and compile. Java C. Sorry. I have to compile. Else it will execute the old one. Java C Java. So it prints. Z is greater than 3. The last line you can see. Yeah. So like this you can start writing your logics. Comment it. So it's a good editor. So editor also is comfortable now. One more last headache we are having. We'll resolve that also. What is the last headache you are having? One last headache is there. You have to go to DOS prompt every time. Compile, execute, compile, execute. Means you have to go to DOS prompt every time to execute all your programs. That's one last headache which is pending. We'll resolve that, and then we'll have all shortcuts to compile and execute now. So what we'll do now, since I don't want to go every time here and compile and execute, what we can do is we can integrate the two Java C and Java exe files to edit plus. We can integrate it. So I'm right now going to show you how to integrate Java C and Java.exe files to the edit plus. And if you integrate those two exe files to the edit plus, okay, we can use shortcuts to compile and execute. Understood? We can use shortcuts to compile and execute. Let's see how to do it now. So for doing that, first what you do, go to view. I'm showing you shortcuts now, how to compile and execute. Okay, see, view. First what you click, go to toolbars, and here you click on user toolbar. First, because see, here what has happened is you are not having a full tools. Lot of tools are not there on the top. So what I'll do, I'll get one I'll enable an option here. View toolbars, and I'll click on user toolbar. So then you'll get this. You can see this part has come now. Okay. So once it is there, see here there are so many groups. I'm clicking here. So as soon as I click, there are 10 groups. Okay. And in one group, you can configure 10 shortcuts here. In one group, you can configure. See, this is one group. This is one group. Means there are totally 10 groups. For one group, you have 10 shortcuts. For the next group, you have got 10 shortcuts. For the next group, you have got 10 shortcuts. So I need only 2 shortcuts now. Which one? Java C and Java. So and I'll integrate those 2 shortcuts to group 1. In group 1, first and second I'll integrate. Okay. So let's see. So right now, see, everything has been disabled here. Can you see this? Nothing has been enabled. After I integrate, it will be enabled. So right now I'm going to show you how to integrate what? Java C and Java commands with edit plus. So very simple now. So what you do is go to tools, and you know why we are doing this? To have shortcuts for compiling and executing, nothing else. It's going to be easy now. So configure user, you go to tools, go to configure what? User tools. Click there, configure user tools. Click, you'll get this option. Same option which you saw earlier to change the fonts. In this, you select, okay, you'll be getting this option here. You go and type add tool. Already user tools is selected. Actually, this should be selected. This should be highlighted. Anyway, when you select it, it is already there. If something else is selected, like this, you select this one. Understood? So once it is done, see here, you say add tool. Here you say add tool. So when I say click on add tool, and I see when you click on add tool, you'll get this option. Here click on program. You'll get this option. So when you now both the places will come. See, now you can give any name here. You can give any name. So for the compiler, what name you want to give? It's up to you. You can say hello also. But the general name what we give is compile. That's the convention what we follow. So because we are going to integrate this with the compiler, I'm giving the name as compile. Okay, so compile is done. See, I'll click, I've typed here and I'll move to the next one. Automatically this name will be taken here. Okay, so I'll say I'll move to the next one now, command. Automatically what happens? I'll just cancel it. So if you want, you can see this name has been changed here. Fine, next I have to go to what? Command. So for compiling, what is that you need? What do you need for compiling? Java C. You need for compilation Java C. So click here, you'll get the option to select. Browse now. Computer, where is your Java C now? C drive, all of you know the location. Program files, Java, JDK, bin, Java C. Select it and say open. That shortcut will come here. You can copy and paste or you can browse like this, your option. Then next, argument. Click on next one, argument. If you click there, it will ask. This option it will give you. So you want file path, file directory, all that it will ask. Click on file name. Click on what? File name. Click on this file name and just this one is done. Okay. Now lastly, initial directory it will ask. Initial directory, you click it as what? File directory. It is done. So these many settings you do, and as soon as I say apply and OK, now you see the first one will be highlighted now. The first option in the first option in the first group will be highlighted. Notice. I'll say apply and I'll say OK. So what has happened? The first one gets highlighted. And if you click here, it will try to compile, but it's not compiling still. There's one last problem. We have to solve it. We'll sort it out. Okay. You can click there, or you can also say one shortcut is there. Control 1. It will also try to do the same thing. Either you can say Control 1 or you click there. So it will start compiling. Right now, one small setting, I'll do it and then it will start compiling. So this will be a shortcut for compilation now. But right now, what is the error you are getting? If I say Control 1 or if I click here, what is the problem you are getting? I've done all the settings, but still it is not compiling. So this is the problem now. It's saying it's internal or external command error. So what is the reason it's giving the error means? See, this is the problem. I'll copy this location, C drive, program files, Java, JDK, bin. I'll copy this location. And I'm pasting it here. So when we are trying to use a shortcut there, what is happening? The edit plus is trying to navigate. During navigation, it fails to proceed till bin. Reason is there is space between program and files. Okay, since there is space between program and files, it's unable to navigate. So that's why when you compile, it is stopping there itself. See this, Control 1, C drive program. It's not able to move ahead. This is the problem. So we want to continue the navigation. If you want to continue the navigation, means it should go now. So program files, next one, and then it should reach bin. And then only it will get what? javac.exe. For that to navigate, what we have to do? We have to bridge the space. We have to remove the space here. So for bridging spaces, what we generally do is, we use something called as tilde, one character it is. It is one character. Okay. So we'll use this character now. So what we do, if you at all you want to bridge the gap, see here, I'll open Notepad now. You can use tilde. See here, this is one character in the keyboard. I'm using it. Now it will bridge the gap. Clear? So tilde will be used for bridging the gap. Generally in computers, in Windows operating system, we use this. So fine, but the tilde also, but whenever you use tilde, there's one more rule. Okay, totally you should have tilde. When you use tilde now, total number of characters should be 8. When you use tilde, total number of characters should be 8. This will be tilde as one word now, and total number of characters should be what? 8. So that's the problem. So let's see now. P, R, O, G means how many words can I calculate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now it becomes very difficult for tilde to come here or to be used here. So now what to do? I have to remove, I have to see to that only 8 characters come here. So for doing that, what I'll do, I'll remove M this side, and this side what I'll do is I'll put 1. Or what is that technically I'll tell, but just understand this. What I've done, just count the number of letters now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Including 1 it is 8, including tilde and 1. So if you do this much, okay, so then see what happens. I'll go to edit plus, again I'll go where? Tools, configure user tools. In this command place, see here, you're given the value here now. So what do you do there? Remove that input, tilde 1. That's all I'm doing, change. I'll tell you technically why I'm doing it. Just I'm doing tilde 1 and say apply and say OK. Now you say control 1, it compiles. Perfectly it compiles. Understood? It's a shortcut now, you don't have to go to DOS prompt every day. Coding is also easy, compiling is also easy. Now we have to concentrate only on what? Coding. So tilde 1. So, but what is that tilde 1? You might have a question now. We'll finish it now. See, generally what happens, you can go to C drive now. In C drive, you're having some folders. How many? Perf logs, program files, program data, user windows. So right now there is only one folder called as program files. Right now there is only one. But by chance, okay, if there are some more folders, example I am writing, program cluster, okay, here I'll write program cluster, that folder is not there, assuming that there is a folder called as program cluster, assuming that, okay, then program Ravi is there, program files is there, so some folders are there with the prefix as what? Program. So now in program files you got Java, then here you got JDK, you know all the story now, how it is located. So if you want to use tilde, what I'll do now, if you want to give the path, this time it will be program tilde 2. Means, see, you arrange it alphabetically. You arrange this alphabetically. Which one will be first? Program cluster will be first. I have written it alphabetically, but if you type and arrange it in this Windows also alphabetically, first one would have been cluster, second would have been files, third one would have been Ravi. Understood? Ravi. Some name I am doing. R-A-V-I. So these folders are not here, but just I am telling you how you guide. Okay. So now I want to go enter which folder now? Second folder. So that's when we give tilde 2. If I want to enter third folder, I have given tilde 3. Understood? But right now there is only one folder. So I have to give what? Tilde 1. Since there is only one folder, no need to worry. Tilde 1 you give. So automatically it will bridge the gap now and it will enter the first folder. Understood? This is a small setting you have to do. If you do this, automatically you can start compiling in the edit plus. You understand? Tilde is used to bridge the gap. Simple. And when you use tilde, you should have only 8 characters. So now you have in 8 characters only you have to tell which folder to enter now. That's the problem. In 8 characters only you have to tell which folder to enter. The first one or second one or third one. So that's how you do it now. According to alphabetical order, you will tell 1, 2, 3. So program, it will go now. And 2 means it will enter this folder. 3 means it will enter this folder. 1 means it will enter that folder. Here tilde 1 means it will enter program files only. So that's why, see, I was teaching you how to create the folders and all. I warned you for one particular reason, don't use space. If you start giving space, later on we start facing problems. Understood? That's why at least when we name, we try to avoid giving spaces in names. For your folder names and all, don't give space. Understood? We'll start facing problems. That's why you can see, I told you, when you give the folder name in August 2013 would be what? Ravi Kumar. So make it as one word. Don't give space. Better make it as Ravi Kumar. You are creating no folders. 0, 1 simple program, no space. Better make it as a practice. Yes.
So here if we give tilde 2, it will enter program data.
No, it will not enter. Yeah, it might enter program data. If you give tilde 2, it might enter program data. But there is no space now. There is no space. Okay. So when there is space, you use tilde. Right now there is no space for program data. If you give tilde 2, it might enter. Even I don't know. I have not tried it. but if you give it might enter, but there is no space. Since there is no space, you will not use tilde only first of all. First of all, you will not use tilde only. When there is space, you use tilde. Understood? Clear this? Okay. So these things are done now. Now last thing, we have to integrate what? Java C has been integrated. Same way we'll integrate what now? Java.exe. That's it. So all you do now, see, this one has been enabled. The second one will get enabled now, see. And both have been enabled where? Means we are going to enable both in group 1. Okay, in group 1 there are 10 options. Group 2 also you can have 10 options. Now see, what I'll do. Tool, same way. Configure user tools. Add tool. Program. You can type any name. But you should, that name should be a good name so that it tells what it is going to do. I can write run, I can write execute, anything. So I'll give the value as what? Run itself. Generally we give here run. We can give it as execute also, no issue. That's only a name. That program is going to do what? Understood? Run. Command. What command you need? Java.exe. Open. So then you have to give here also what? Tilde 1. So whenever there is space, we bridge the gap like this. Understood? So then argument. See here. Does Java command need the extension? Java demo you say, not Java demo.class. Yes or no? So you click on file name without extension. Clear? Last time I clicked what? Only file name. For Java say I clicked file name. For this one we have to click file name without extension. Then here initial directory, click on file directory. That's it. Same thing. Done. And say apply and OK. Now that one also is enabled. See here. So now I can click here directly. It will run the program. Or if you want, you can say Control 2 shortcut. So Control 1 will compile now. Control 2 will execute. As simple as this. Can you do this shortcut settings and all in Notepad? No. So this is the advantage of this editor. Keywords are highlighted, good editor, shortcuts are there to integrate. Clear? See, compiling, Control 1, Control 2 will be execution. But remember, by chance sometimes when you are doing now like this, you will be compiling. It will compile, it will execute using the mouse and doing. Accidentally sometimes you will do like this, group 2, now it will get disabled. And Control 1 and Control 2 will not work because you are in group 2 now. So that time, what you do? Make it, change it to group 1, that's it. Bring it back to group 1, that's it. So like this, in every group you can have 10 shortcuts. Totally 100 shortcuts you can have. 10 into 10, one group 10 options, another group 10 options. Like that, 10 groups into 10 options means 100 shortcuts you can integrate in Edit Plus. But we integrate only 2. Clear? Any questions now? So editor also done. So next what you have to study now? Language now. That's it. We'll start learning language. But yes, I'll cover one more last topic and then we'll start seeing more into languages. First, see, for few information you can find it on net also, internet. See what exactly happened long back. I'll write here, year. Java version, code name, here Java version, code name, platform. There are 3 platforms. One is a platform for developing standalone applications. Java gives you, see, one side you have got a language here, other side you have got a platform. Okay, one side you have got a language, other side you have got a platform here. Slowly you'll understand later, just I'm introducing this to you. Standalone, these are all platforms, what I write now. Web applications, and one is micro device applications. So these 3 are all what? Platforms. All the 3 are actually called as platforms. Standalone application platform, web application platform, micro device application platform. There are 3 platforms. So actually, see, Java got invented in 1991 and it was named as Oak. In 1995, they called it as Java. Till then it was called as with what name? Oak only. So you can see, we'll start taking from here now. In 1995, they released their first version of Java. Initially it was called as what? Oak. All this information you can find it in net. All this information you can find it in net. See, why I'm telling you this is because we're going to cover these two platforms, standalone application platform as well as web application platform. These two platforms will be covering. So you can go to internet and Explorer is okay, and you can type history of Java. Wikipedia you can go and you'll find all this information. I'll tell you all the story here. See, Java versions, all this history, full story they'll tell you here. Okay, when it was released, what it was happening and all that, full story you can see here. Okay. So in 1995, or 1996 you can say, they released their first Java version, and actually the language was called as JDK 1.1. JDK 1.0. So this is the kit, what we get for developing what? Our applications. Okay. See, when you install Java, you get the JDK kit. I'll tell you what is there in the JDK kit as soon as I finish this. Okay, we have got the JDK kit. Okay, so let me finish off all this. In the JDK kit, actually we have these things. There are many things what you got in the JDK kit. Like, you got the compiler, you got the interpreter, and you got a JVM, you got JIT, you got built-in libraries. Like that, plenty of things are there, you don't worry. Okay, then built-in libraries. Then you have got one platform called as JSC platform or J2SC platform. Means it's giving you support for writing standalone applications. Many things are there. So you just install Java, you'll get this. When you install Java now, you're getting this much of support here. So this is the story here. In 1996, the first version of Java was released and it was called as JDK 1.1. They have some code name here for JDK 1.1 and all. Don't bother too much about these code names and all that. So you scroll down, you'll find more information. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let me finish off with this. So there are some code names and all that. JDK. Fine. So in 1997 they came with one more version called as JDK 1.1. So in 1998 they released JDK 1.2, and that is when the support for standalone applications was introduced. It is called as J2SC. It is called as J2SC. So J2SC is a platform. Remember that. Java is the language. Means what is a platform means you might be thinking, what is a platform? What is a platform? That's one rich infrastructure you get for writing standalone applications. J2SC. Similarly, for writing web-based applications, you have one more rich platform called as J2EE. For writing micro device application, you are having one more rich platform, infrastructure. It will give you full support. Whatever your application needs now, that support it will give you. That is what we are going to study. Don't worry, just I am telling you the history. You should know the difference between what is J2SC, J2EE, J2EE, that's it. So then this is the one. So then in 2000, so, and in the same time they released one more called as J2EE as well as J2ME. This is what they did. So J2SE, J2ME. I'll clear this now. What does the JDK contain? So this will go on now. 1998. Then what? 2000. 2000 what they called? This is JDK 1.2 only. Version becomes what? Sorry, 1.3. This is 1.3. In 2000 they released 1.3. This becomes J2SE, J2EE, J2ME. Same way you can go on now. 2000, 2002, then 2004, then 2006. So many versions they are released. 2002, what is the version called as? 1.3. Sorry, 2002 it is called as 1.4. 2004 it is called as JDK 1.5, but here they started calling this as Java 5. There is a major change which happens between 1.4 and 1.5. Major change. Okay. So to just reflect that for the developers, to make them aware a major change is happening, instead of 1.5 they started calling it as Java 5. That's it. Okay. And these platforms are also called the same: J2SE, J2SE, J2EE, J2ME, J2EE, J2ME. But here, after 1.5, when JDK 1.6 was released, 1.6 also they call it as what? Java 6. Okay, and here they started removing this 2 and started calling it as JSC, JEE and JME. The 2 eliminates. They also thought, let's remove that 2 unnecessarily, and they started saying JEE, JME and this one. So because see, sometimes people will ask you should know this. Do you know J2EE? Okay, or do you know J? Means see, you are right now. I'm going to teach you JEE. And if somebody asks you, do you know J2EE? You'll say no, I don't know J2EE. I know JEE. Nothing. It's only the version name. Okay, and you know J2EE and JEE are almost all same. Only thing is they removed that 2. Only thing is they removed that 2 and they started calling it as JEE. That's it. Now this is the version of the language, that is the platform version. This is platform version. All these are platform version. 2 only there, and here they call this platform, this is language version. So the language version is going on changing, but the platform version has been renamed as like this. Still more versions are there, 7 and all that. Don't worry, we are right now learning 6. And also there are some nicknames given now, code name, I didn't write it. Java 1.4 is known as, Java 1.5 is known as Tiger. This one is Java 1.7 is known as, some version names they are given. 1.7, 7, they call it as, actually Dolphin, no? Then which one is Mustang? Java 8. Some names they have got, man. I think Java 5 is Tiger. Sorry, one second. Java 5 is Tiger. This one is Dolphin. This one is Mustang. Okay, like that. Some other code names they are given. Don't bother. It's for that version they are given one name. They are given some names here. Merlin or something like that. Merlin. Some name they are given. Don't worry what that name is. So some name here they are given. You don't worry about that. It was all outdated. So these are all. Which one now? 1.7 is released when? 2011. Still recent. Okay. So this is the story here. Merlin. Some name they are given. So these are all language versions. And this is platform version. Here also they still continue now. JSE, JEE, JME. JSE, JEE, JME. That's it. So this is one brief idea I gave you how the revolution went on happily. Understood? So in the JDK kit, when you install Java, you'll get that kit which on language support and all that. So this introduction is sufficient now. Now we'll start getting into the Java language. Clear? Shall I clear all this? Shall I clear all this? Fine. Yesterday I had given you an assignment, no? Have you completed that assignment? You got the output, huh? Okay. I'll also show you how to code and get that output. Okay. Then I'll continue with other things. I had asked you to calculate the area of a rectangle, no? Let's see that. Now, one last program we'll see, and we'll code it with what? Edit plus only. We'll code it with edit plus. Just giving you an idea how you code on edit plus. Project is switched on. Wait, it's switch on, wait. It's switch on, we don't touch him. Switch on. It's in standby mode. One second, wait. Okay, one more last program we'll see on edit plus, and then we'll continue with Java language now. So in order to code now, we'll be using what? Edit plus. So double click, it will be very easy for you to code now. Okay, so double click on edit plus, it will open up now. It's on desktop, you have put the shortcut here. So double click, it will open up, just say I agree. File, new, what you will type? Java. So almost all things will come here now. So you can give the name as what? Area. See, this is your, I think one class name is there already by name area. It's a built-in class. One built-in class is there with the name area. That's how it happens. So we can say, I'll give the name as rectangle area. Avoid using built-in names. Understood? As soon as it highlights, it's better your class rectangle area. So there's one more built-in class called as what? Rectangle. So anyway, just give such name, rectangle area. So fine. Now, after giving the name, what you have to do? Save now. How will you save? Copy, paste. Same thing you do. Everything is same. Only you are coding it in edit plus. Check whether it's working or not. Control 1, Control 2. It works. Now you can start coding. So it's easy now. Coding becomes easy. Yes or no? So how will you write? Int length is equal to 10. This is the value I gave, no? Then int breadth is equal to 5. Then you can say int area is equal to 0. Later on you can do A is equal to L. Multiplication you know how to do? Star, okay, into B. So then these are all characters given to you by language. That's what we are going to learn now. What all characters you can use in Java programming, you start learning. So then you can print system.out.println, you can start typing it. What is that? Length. This is the output I asked you, no? Length of rectangle is, I had asked you to get this output is plus L. Similarly, you'll print what? Breadth of rectangle. Tools once again. I'll just reduce the font size. Length, breadth, rectangle is plus B, area of the rectangle is A. These three you know how to get the output, and you know how you do the appending now? String plus int is what? String. Yesterday we discussed this. String plus int will come up with int. That string and int. Understood? So now control 1, it will compile, control 2, it will execute. Fine. So later on, if you want, you can I had given you one more big one. What? I have finished my assignment. Yes or no? So how do you type that? You can put it in double quotes. I have finished my assignment. And put double quotes there, and you can append now plus, like this you can append. Or if you are interested, learn appending. That was my intention. Okay, I finished my assignment. Length of the rectangle is plus L plus what? My name is. Done. So your program compiles now. This is the output I had asked you to get. You could have written it in different print statements. I just wanted to show you how to append. Control 1 compiles, Control 2 executes. As simple as this. This was the assignment which I had given to you yesterday. Done now? Okay. So now we'll start getting into the Java language. So see, not only Java, all languages give this support. What you are going to learn now, all languages will give the same support to you. No doubt about that. But which language gives it in a more user-friendly way? That's the question. Same support you get in all language. Okay, because all languages are giving you support for programming only. You take C, you take C++, you take COBOL, you take Fortran, you take Pascal. Name the language. All languages are trying to give the same support for programming. Java is no exception. It will also try to give the same support. Okay, so let's start off with which one? The different things what Java gives you are features of Java language. Are one by one you can write now. So there are 8 things. There are many things you can just write down. First one you can write character set. Features of Java language. You put the heading as features of Java language. Features of Java language. Features of Java language. First one, character set. Character set. Character set. Second one, keywords. Third one, identifiers. Fourth one, variables. Fifth one, data types. Sixth one, literals. Seventh one, operators. Eighth one, control statements. Clear? You study one by one. All languages are trying to give the same support now. You go in Pascal, you go in Fortran. So right now we have started studying the Java language. Now it starts off. All this while we are only learning what it is, how to install editor and all that. Now we'll start off. So we'll take the first one now, character set. Understood? Take the first one, character set. What is a character set? Write it fast. I clear this? I clear this? Understood. What's the first one now? Character set. What is a character set? It's a list. Write it fast. It's a list of characters which developer can use for writing Java code. Then Java character set allows the following 3 types. It allows the following 3 types. So when you're coding Java now, you use the character set. See, I coded some programs yesterday, today and all that. Okay. So whatever I used yesterday, it falls under any of these 3 things only. It falls under these 3 things only. I was using digits. The digits were between 0 and 9 now. Alphabets were between what? A to Z or small a to Z. Special symbols. Plus, minus, which one? Even you have got semicolon, multiplication, all the special symbols you can use. So these are the list of things what you can use for writing your Java program. Yeah? So you cannot use any other characters apart from this. It will give you error, compilation error. It's a list of characters which developer can use for writing Java code. Java character set allows the following 3 types, digits. Done? When you write Java program now, you have to use this. And if you notice, this is all related to what? C only, no? Ditto to C, no change. All these are related to C only. You will not find any difference. No difference at all. Ditto to ditto, it is same. So Java uses 100% C syntax. Whatever the 8 things we are going to study now is purely related with what? C only. So you already know all that. Only we have to learn oops. But still, to make you comfortable, I am just going through that syllabus now, just to make you comfortable. Yeah? Are you clear with this? So next, what are keywords? Second one now. You wrote, what you wrote? Keywords. First one was character set. Second one was keywords. Right now, keywords. What are keywords now? Second. They are a set of words with some predefined meaning. Keywords are set of words with some predefined meaning. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. The 8 things. In the 8 things, I covered the first one, that is character set. And we are discussing which one next? Keywords. The next one to discuss is the keywords. So what are keywords now? Keywords are set of words with some predefined meaning. There are some set of words with some predefined meaning. So these many keywords are there in Java. Okay, these many keywords are there in Java. List it fast. Visible? No? Visible or not? So see, there are totally 50 keywords in Java, totally. Okay, 50 keywords in Java. Like, see, primitive data types. How many are there? 8. User defined types, class interface, enum, access specifiers, private protected, public, exception handling, try, catch, finally, throws, throw. Then miscellaneous. Then you got modifiers. Then you got control statements. These many keywords are there in Java. Clear? Most of the keywords already you know. You don't have to worry. Most of the keywords you already know. Yes or no? Write the keywords fast. Okay, in this Java keywords, how many keywords you already know? Almost all you know here. Int, long, float, double, char. So many keywords you already know. Some things like if, else, for, do, while, switch, case, all you know. Okay, some more things like it's following from C only. Okay, so many things are there from C. So that extra things Java also has added the keywords, but many things come from C itself. So you are comfortable with the keywords. Most of the keywords you already know. You don't have to worry. Most of the keywords you already know and you don't have to worry about it. Clear? So fine then. So the second one was the keywords. Now what is the third one? You can write it. Data. Okay. Now the third one is identifiers. Write identifiers fast. Third one is identifiers. What is identifier? What is an identifier? Write fast. Clear? Are you clear with identifiers? See, we generally give names, no? We give a name to a variable, we give a name to the class, we give a name to the method. Okay, they are all called as identifiers. So when you are giving a name, some rules you have to follow. What are the rules you have to follow? So first of all, it's a name given to a variable, name, method, class or interface. That's called as an identifier. Same thing, it should contain only what? Combination of digits, alphabets or only two special symbols. When you are giving a name, no, like supposing I want to give a variable name, int, average temperature. Fine, I can write like this, but I cannot use star and all here. I can use only two special symbols. What is that? Dollar and underscore. That's it. Only two special symbols. No other special character is allowed for an identifier. Next thing, first character of this one identifier should be what? First character should be an alphabet. It should not be a digit. First character of the identifier should be an alphabet or dollar or underscore, any of these three. Underscore, dollar or alphabet, but not a digit. It cannot have a space. Your identifier cannot, next one is identifier cannot have a space. Supposing the average temperature, you cannot have space like this in between. When you are writing, see, int, average, space, temperature, you can't write. Understood? Then next, it cannot be a keyword. Your identifier cannot be a keyword because its keywords already are having predefined meaning. So now see some valid ones, some valid identifiers. What are the, see, average temp, it is valid because it starts with character and all that. Okay, this one is also valid, starts with character, you are using digits, alphabets and digits, fine. Dollar test, it starts with dollar, no problem, valid. If 9, valid. If is small but 9 has been appended to it, so obviously it is not a keyword now. It is also valid. Underscore 1, 2, 3, valid. Understood? But these are not identifiers. 1, 2, 3, ABC, because it's starting with digits. If it's a keyword, this cannot happen. Okay. Ampersand of ABC. You can use only dollar and underscore, but not ampersand. Then ABC space 1, 2, 3, not possible. Student name, space is there, not possible. So similarly, you can have you cannot have an identifier like this, int 1, 2, 3, because all are digits. Getting it now? So when you give names, be clear with that. Understood? See, these basics are very important to move into the next level of programming. These basics are very, very important to move into the next level of programming. Are you clear with all this? Okay. But some more conventions I'll tell. These are the rules you have to follow. If you don't follow, what will happen? Compiler will start giving you error. But as a Java programmer, we follow some more conventions, and I'll teach you that conventions now. Okay. Generally, you see the identifiers where and all you'll be using now when you want to give to the name to the class. Identifiers will be used when you want to give to see when you are naming a class or a interface. That and all you'll understand later. Okay. What is class, interface and all. Then you might name a method. Then you might have a variable. Okay. So what is the convention you follow? Let's see this. Supposing you want to have a class with the name employee. So the first letter will be what? Caps, like this. Understood? So you might have something like an interface also. Interface. You might have, okay, one more class name I'll give you. One more class name can be like this. Class employee. The name of the class is employee service. Okay, so E should be caps. S should be caps. The first word, you see when you are giving a class name, this is called as identifier. This is called as an identifier. First word, first letter should be caps. Second word, first letter should be caps. Third word, first letter should be caps, like that. And you have seen many built-in classes already. Like example, see this is what we name. Java also is following the same thing. You have seen class called as string. S is caps. You have seen a class called as system. S is caps. Later on you'll be seeing later. Java, these are all Java classes. Java is providing you this. Built-in classes from the library. One more class is there called as string buffer. Even they follow this rule. See, even though S and B can be small, but generally when we give names now, it becomes very, this is the convention what we follow. That those rules what I gave you remains. But when we are giving names to classes and all, we follow this convention. Okay, so these are the classes you will be coding. These are the built-in classes. These are developer classes. You will start coding later. Okay, like even you can have a class by name hello world. See this, class hello world, valid. By chance if I write class like this name also it will work, hello world, it is valid, it will not give compilation error. Okay, if I write like a class name like this, class hello world, like this also it is valid. But if I ask you to use my class, now how will you use my class? It becomes very difficult for you to type now. What is caps, what is small? So that's why to reuse each other now, what we do, we follow this conventions. These are all valid, but don't do it. So see, some things are rules, some things are conventions. These are conventions what we follow. What I am teaching you right now is convention. Rules I just now gave in the document. I am talking about conventions. Are you clear with this? So this is how you view the class names. Method names, how do you give? It should start with small case. It should start with small case. Example. See, I'll have a method by name, simple you can see, fun, small it is. Okay, but when you go on programming, you give better names, you not use such names. Like example is save. Now if the method has two words, see the same thing, S is small, E is caps. Delete employee, D small, employee caps. This is the way you name a method. Understood? So these are written by developers. These are method names written by developers. Even in built-in Java libraries, you'll find method names. Like in class string, you have a method called as equals. Okay, some methods are there. See, this is present in class string. Equals. One more method is there. See here. Equals. Ignore. Case. So these are methods. So when I ask you to write a method, see when I'll be dictating notes, I'll be dictating notes to you. This is a method, this is class and all that. You also write it in the same way, because tomorrow when you read, it will automatically be very clear to you. What is class, what is method and all that. Understood? So when you type also follow this. Follow these rules, it will be helpful for you later. Understood? So this is there in the library. These are method names present in what? Library in string class. Example I wrote. See, this is how you write notes. Now if I ask you to write equals, ignore, case, method present in string class, you should know how to write. If you write something, means if you write it in some other format, tomorrow you will type it in that format and you will not get the output. Understood? So that problems you will start facing. So that's why follow all these conventions. Now for variables, almost all the rules are same. What you follow for a method, same thing you will follow for what? Variables also. But here you got something like, you got, one is you got, there are many types of, okay, variables also will go like this, like int, student, ID. Okay, Okay, int student ID, string employee name. So we follow like same like method only. First letter, first word small, second word, first letter caps. Same conventions we follow. But this is for variables we follow. If it is a constant, we do like this. Int, we use all caps. Average, int average, we use all caps. Understood? But if there are two words in the constant name, that time what we do? Int average underscore temperature, all caps. For constants we go like this. We use all caps. Okay, only one word, all caps. Two words, underscore, like this we continue. So these are some of the conventions what we follow while naming something in our program. Understood? So it will be easy for you later when I start writing code also, you'll understand what is method name, what is class name, what are variables. You'll start understanding. Are you clear with all this? Clear? So don't jumble up. As soon as you see some capitals in your program, you'll understand it's a constant. It will be easy for you. Understood? Clear? I clear all this? The next one is three things over. What is the fourth one? Variables. Now write variables. What is a variable? What is a variable? It's a named memory location. It's a named memory location that may be assigned a value. It's a named memory location that may be assigned a value. It's a named memory location that may be assigned a value. Next point. Value in a variable can be changed or modified. Value in a variable can be changed or modified. You can see the syntax. This is the syntax of declaring a variable. Just write it. Later on we'll be seeing more of this. Data type, variable name, value. This is how you write. Almost all see now. Almost all see here. Now this is syntax, this is example. Int a is equal to 10, double d is equal to 10.5. Clear? Fine. Now let's see more of variables also. What they are and how we use them. See, all of us are learning the language for one purpose. For what? Writing an application. End of the day we want to develop an application here. So for developing the application we'll use the language. And see, all languages are giving the same support to you. Which language you use for coding, that is your option. But all languages tell one thing, what? You develop your application. This is your application. You develop your application. This will be your application now. Okay. So what will happen? The user will now have an UI. This will be his UI. He'll enter ID, he will enter his name. So this is the kind of rich UI you will start getting later. And he'll submit the value. So these are the values which enter into your application. These are the values which enter into your application. When these values come into application, you have to store them. Else the value will be lost. That is the reason we start using variables. Understood? So here I'll declare one int ID and I'll store the value. Whereas how I want to store the value? The value will be lost. Now user is giving it. And if you are not storing the value, what happens? It will be lost. That is the practical idea of using, practical reason why the language provides you variables. Understood? So then you might have string name. And for ID, it can say one user logs in, it can take one value. Another user logs in, it will take another value. Same program, but the value can be modified. That's the thing what I wrote. But generally, you have learned like this. Something like this. See, this is main. Int a is equal to 5. This is a variable. It's a named location, memory location It's a named memory location where you can store a value, and the value in that can be changed. A is equal to 6, A is equal to 7. But here we are hard coding. This meaning also same, but practically if you see, variables are used like this. Practically, in applications if you see, they'll be used like this. Here we are not writing any program, simply we are writing int A is equal to 1, int A is equal to 2. When you start writing applications now, that time you'll understand the usage of variables. But initially we'll learn variables like this only. Later on it will be used in this way. Understood? So a variable is a named memory location. If you don't store the value given to you now, it will be lost. Okay, and if the value is lost, how can you write the logic now? So to write logics, what do you need? Values now. User will give the value. If you don't store the value, if the value is lost, what will happen now? You can't write any logic. So no logic can be written without value. As simple as that. Okay, so see here, just one simple example. Int A is equal to 5, int B is equal to 6. Assuming that these values came dynamically. Somehow they'll come dynamically. Okay, we'll send it like this, UI and all, we'll send it. I'll store it. Then I'll do the addition. C is equal to A plus B. I'm using the value now. So to write logic, what do you need? First value, then logic will come. Understood? So that's why we store it, and now it will be used. Value of A is 5, value of B is 6. My B and 6 look same, we'll change it. B is equal to 7. So what will be the value of C now? 12. That's it. So you store that and you can use it like this. Then, so it's almost all C only. There's no change now. Clear this? Any questions? So we'll go to the next topic now. What? Data types. We'll go to the next topic called as data types. Why do you use a data type? Data types are used for storing values now. Data types are used for storing values. Understood? So now, how many types of values are there? So data types have been provided. See, from here it becomes more interesting now. These 4 things what you learned, okay, they are very simple. Which one? Character set, keywords, then next one you saw? Identifiers, variables. They are very simple. Now the real topic starts now. Which one? Data types, then literals, then operators, control statements. So if you want to really write logic, you should know all these 4 properly. How to use it. So we are moving to the most important one now, data types. All languages give you data types. All languages give you, no doubt about it. And they give you for one reason, for storing a value only, nothing else. Okay, so see this. You write A is equal to 5. But this is a variable. But this variable can hold what value? Correct? Of numeric. So that's when you write int. So int is a data type. A is the variable name. Means A can hold now integer values. That's what we actually try to tell now. A is a variable of type int and it can hold integer values. So int is the data type. See, int is the data type. This is the variable name and this is the value. As simple as this. Understood? So now we are going to study data types. So data type will be used for declaring a variable, and finally a variable is used for storing a value. Data type is used for declaring a variable, and finally a variable is used for storing the value. What type of a value you want to store in the variable? Declare it of that type. What type of a value you want to store in the variable? Declare it of that type. If you want to store integer value, declare it of type int. If you want to store a real number value, declare it of type float double. If you want to store a character value, declare your variable of type char. That's it. Understood? So every language gives you this, but Java also tries to give the same support, but it is very powerful here. Java's data types are very powerful as compared to other languages. So everywhere you see, Java tries to dominate only. Okay. So now you know why we use data type now. So how many data types are there? That's the next thing now we have to study. So data types are used for what? Declaring variables. Understood? Data types are used for declaring variables. And variables are declared for storing values. Okay, how many types of data types are there? Can you guess? How many types of data types are there? Primitive, non-primitive. And these non-primitive are also known as derived. These non-primitives are also known as derived. So data types are used for storing values. Now primitive data types. Now primitive data types means they'll hold what? Primitive data types are designed for holding what? We'll come to this later. Okay. So primitive data types are used for storing what type of values? Primitive values. They are designed for holding primitive values. Now how many types of primitive values are there? Can you guess? How many types of primitive values are there? Can you guess? How many types of primitive values are there? Numeric, non-numeric. Correct? Value I'm talking, value. Okay. So there are two types of numeric values. One is numeric values, the other one is non-numeric values. Again in numeric, how many types are there? Can you guess? Whole number value or integer value, and real number values or floating values, you can say. Real number values are floating values. Here also integer value or whole number values. Anything, both means same. Now to store integer values, Java has given you many data types. Byte. Second. To store whole number values or integer values, Java has given you 4 data types: byte, short, int, long. Understood? And the size of byte is 1 byte, short is 2 bytes, int is 4 bytes, long is 8 bytes. So Java's data types capacity is double that of C. In C, what is the capacity of int? 2 bytes. In Java, what is the capacity of int? 4 bytes. In C, what is the capacity of your long data type? 4 bytes. In Java, what is the capacity of a long data type? 8 bytes. 8 bytes means imagine the value what it can store. So here the values what you can store is very big. In C, it's very difficult to store big values. Okay, but here it is very easy to store big values because your data type itself is having a bigger capacity. Understood? And one more, this byte also is one more new data type added by Java. You can use that also. And the default value, I'll explain what is default value, don't bother. But the default value of all this is going to be 0. The default value of all this will be 0. Okay. So then there's something called as range. We'll see that. So always remember one formula I'll teach you today. Variable is equal to value. When you're trying to give a value to a variable, 3 things will come into account. Okay. First thing, the type of value. Second thing, the range of value. Third thing, the size of value. If all these 3 things are correct, then only the value will be stored into the variable. Type, then range, then size. This is the first mistake a developer goes on to do while programming. So that's why I'm going slowly here and follow this properly, because when you start coding you should not get errors. Okay, so to be very clear in coding what you're coding, you should have a brief idea about all this or a detailed idea about all this. Clear? So these things. So I'll first introduce the first data type to you called as byte. I'll introduce the first data type called as byte to you. Class demo. Okay, I think but before I come, okay, I'll talk about byte. I will cover up this table first. I think what will I do? No, I'll complete off byte, then I'll cover the table. See this PSVM, public static void main. Okay, so till now I was using int now for coding. If you are interested, you can use byte also. If you are interested, you can use byte also. Byte A is equal to 5. SOP A, valid statement. It will print 5 to you. But what is exactly happening? Okay, so when I say byte A, so there is one memory which gets allocated in the memory gets allocated for A, and now the size of A is going to be what? 8 bits or 1 byte. 8 bits or 1 byte. So if you want, you can draw this. So everything in the memory is stored like this itself: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and actually 5, how it is stored? It is stored in binary format. 2 2s are 2 1s are. You know how to convert into binary, no? So the whole number will be converted to binary, and then it will be stored in the memory. And this is how it will be stored. Understood? Your 5 value actually is getting stored in the memory in this particular format. So if I say SOP A, it will print 5 now. Yeah? Okay. So now see, when I try to give a value to A is of type what now? Byte. And byte A can hold only what type of value? Numeric value. In that also, it can hold only integer value, whole number value. If I write byte A is equal to 5.5, it gives me error. Why? Type of value is the problem. Type of value is the problem. So don't make such kind of mistakes. Byte A, so that's why I'm starting with small basics now. Okay. Byte A is equal to 5.5 is error. Or even if I write, see, this is valid. Byte A is equal to 5. But if I write byte A is equal to 5.5, error. Why? Type of value. I'm talking about the first one now. Type of value. Okay, then I'll come to range, then I'll come to size. So type of value is the error here. It will give compilation error itself. And remember, Java is a strictly type checked language. Type checking it will do. Okay. So when it will do the checking is when you compile only, that time only it will check. And that's a brilliant advantage what you have got. Okay. Because in C language and all, when you compile nothing it will check. And some value will be stored into some variable. And during runtime they start giving problems. So getting more errors is always better. Because Java has got a very powerful compiler here. Okay, if things are correct, then it will compile. If things are not correct, it will not compile only. In C what happens, you will try to compile, it will compile. Later on what happens, during runtime you start getting the problems. And to identify the problem, it's a big headache there. And what will happen if wrong things are executing, it will start printing some junk things. Then you have to restart the computer. That problem will never come in Java for you. No junk value concept, no restarting concept. Very, very powerful. It's a robust language they say. Why it's robust? That's what we are studying now. Understood? So it will give error during compilation time. Okay. Next, byte A is equal to, I'll give it in single quotes. So what is this type of a value? Character value, na? Error. When it will report the error? Compilation time only. So these things are not allowed. Okay. So that is what you mean by type of value. Yeah. These two things are error now. But this is valid. Because you stored a numeric value and it's that of type whole number. So you cannot put any value into anything. So what value you want to store, that type of a variable you declare, that data type you declare. Byte A is equal to 5. Are you clear this? Shall I clear now? Okay. Now next comes range. Next comes range. Type of value understood. Next comes range. See, the maximum capacity of a byte is what? 8 bits. 8 bits. And if you fill the values here, maximum value what it can store, see in 1 bit, in 1 byte. In 1 byte you got 8 bits. Okay, so total maximum how many numbers you can store here are 2 to the power of 8 numbers you can store. Numbers. 1 is one number, 2 is one number, 3 is one number, 4 is one number. Like that you can store 2 to the power of 8 numbers. So you sit and count now. 2 into 2 into 2, how much it will come? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 into 2 is how much? 4. 4 into 2 is how much? 8. 8 into 2 is how much? 16. 16 into 2 is how much? 32. 32 into 2 is 64. 64 into 2 is 128. 256. So totally your byte can store only 256 numbers. But what are which are the 256 numbers which your byte B can store now? That's the next thing. Which are the 256 numbers which your byte B can store? That's the next question. Which are they? 256 numbers it can store, I know. But which are they? So that is called as range. From this range to that range. Like example is here. The range will be written like this now. I'll clear this. From minus 128 to plus 127. You count now. Totally how many numbers will be there? 256. This is the range. See, I'm teaching you byte very slowly. The same rules will be applied for what? Short, int, long also. So observe carefully here. What do you mean by what is that? Type. What do you mean by size? And what do you mean by range? Observe these three things carefully. It will be helpful for you in what? Other data types also. One data type you are clear, other data types will become very easy to you now. Clear? So SOPA. So now whatever I try to give a value should be within this range. Minus 128 to 127. Including 0 it becomes 256 numbers. You sit and count. 1 to minus 1 to 128, 128 numbers. 0 to 127 is 128 numbers. Put together 256 numbers it can store. See, it can store 256 numbers. But which are the 256 numbers? This is the range. You put any value within this, blindly it will accept. So B is equal to 5, correct. B is equal to 6, SOPB, valid. It prints what? 6. B is equal to 10, SOPB, valid. B is equal to 15. Any value you give, man, it goes on to accept and it can print. B is equal to 15, SOPB, valid. Understood? One more thing, clear. Be clear with this. See, there is something called a scope which I'll be teaching later. Right now I'll not teach, but one of the common mistake you generally do. You'll write byte A is equal to 5. Later on, okay, let me change this to 7. B is equal to 7, SOPB what it prints? 7. B is equal to 10, SOPB what it prints? 10. B is equal to 15, SOPB what it prints? 15. All this is correct. But see, once you declare a variable, again don't try to declare it like this. This is one more error what you get. Don't write byte B is equal to 7. Just try to use it. So declaration should happen only once. Usage you can use it any number of times. A declaration should happen only once. Okay, but using it you can use it any number of times. B is equal to 7, B is equal to 10, use it. But don't try to redeclare it. Declaration should happen only once. These are some of the common mistakes what you do. Clear this? So I'll remove this. Okay, now I gave so many values. It was accepting and printing. If I want I can give a negative also. B is equal to minus 27. SOPB, it prints what? Minus 27. B is equal to minus 19. I'm giving a negative value. So SOPB, what it prints? Minus 19. Everything is valid. But as long as I don't cross the range. If I say B is equal to 129 now, finished. Is it within that range? It cannot store. When will this error be reported, you know? Compilation time. This error will be reported during compilation. That's better. So how many compilation errors you get? That's better because you will not face the problem during runtime. So always developer requires powerful compilers. Developers require powerful compilers because they don't want the problem to be happening at runtime. See, that is the major problem. Okay, it's saying a very weak compiler. Most of the things it will not detect and they'll pass on to runtime. And during runtime what happens? Program will not execute. Some junk values it will start printing. No other option for you to restart the computer. But here that it is not the case. Okay, it will be checked by the compiler itself. Are you clear with this? Okay. So now, if at all I want to give a bigger number now, what should I do? Like this 129. You can't give. There is something called as casting you do. Typecasting. Typecasting is nothing but converting from bigger type to smaller type. This in depth I'll take later. Just I'll finish off the class for today. And this data type subject will open up on next class. Clearly we'll start seeing all the data types. Just before you come, I just wanted you people to practice this. That's it. So B is equal to 129. So what you do, you can write like this. Shall I clear all this? This will get the output, no issue. See this now. Byte B. B is equal to, I want to give a value of what? Something outside the range. Something outside the range. So I'll try to give a value like 129 plus 129. It's outside the range now. So now what happens? Can you guess? Compilation error. It will not allow you to store. Why it is the compiler giving you the problem? Range of value. So always remember this. Okay, when you are trying to give a value to a variable, these three things are checked by the compiler. Type of value is checked, range of value is checked, as well as size of value is checked. Type of value is correct, but what is the problem this time? Range of value is the problem. It is a numerical value, it is a whole number. Type of value is fine, but the problem is with range. So that's why what happens, it will give error, okay, and it will not compile only. You try to compile, it will not compile. Okay, so what we do now, we convert it into smaller value now. B is equal to, this is the syntax, byte of 129. 129 will now convert it to byte value and then stored into B. This is the syntax. Okay, always remember this is the assignment operator. I'll be teaching you operators more in detail. More in detail I'll teach, because you have written it now. The 7th one is the operator. Okay, so always remember, simple thing about the assignment operator is, it's very simple. You might have a value on the left side, but still it overwrites. It gets, see, like this. I mean to say this. I'll write byte A is equal to 5. Similarly, I'll write A is equal to 9. What happens? Initially A had a value of 5. But now, again, if it is on left side, what happens? The value will be overwritten. It overwrites. So always left hand side is treated as a variable, right hand side is treated as a value. And use the assignment operator. It's simple as this. This is left hand side, this is right hand side. This is a very powerful operator. What it does, simply it takes the value from the right side and gives it to the variable to the left side. It overwrites. It overwrites. It's a very powerful operator. So you should be careful in using equals, this assignment operator. Use it, what happens? It will overwrite. Clear? Operators I'll discuss next. So same thing has happened here, 129. Okay, this is the syntax now. You are converting into byte and that value will be given to B. So how does it convert now? What happens during conversion? Okay, so simple, it will apply this formula. From the positive side, okay, it moves towards the negative side. It swings. One round it will swing. And there what happens, actually you want to store 129. So it will start counting, 127 numbers are over now. Okay, so then it will move to negative side. There it will take 2 count. Means 2 more are pending now, 128 and 129. So what it will do? This is 128 and this is 1. So it will start moving negative side. And finally if you print SOP B, it will print minus 127. This is the value you will be finding. So when you do conversion or when you do typecasting, there is a high chance that you might lose the value. You will not get the original value. There is loss of data. Okay. Many times there will be loss of data. When there will be loss of data, that we'll see. But right now loss of data is happening. Means you will not get that 129 value. Instead it will be stored as minus 127. Remember, byte B can store a value, but only within this range. You try to give a bigger value, it will be converted into a value within this range only and stored. Okay, I am trying to give a value outside the range. So it will be converted into a value within this range only and stored. And you give any value, not only 130, 500, 1000, 10,000, any value you try to give. Definitely it will be converted like this only and stored. Finally the final answer will be what? Within this range. More we'll see now. B is equal to byte of 135 or 131 I'll take, simple. That time what happens? 127 this side, 4 it starts moving. Minus 128, 127, 126, 125. So SOP B will be something like minus 125. Like this it goes on. So if I say B is equal to byte of 256, finally what will happen? 127 this side, again it will move and finally the result will be what? 0. The result will be 0. SOP B will print you 0. Check it out. But if I give byte B is equal to byte of 257, what is the result? 1, positive side now. From positive it moved to negative and now it starts moving towards positive side. So it will be 1. P is equal to byte of 260. What is the result? 4. So it will continue till where? 128 numbers. Again 128 is where? Again it swings to negative side. Like this it will start swinging. It will be cycling like this. If 127 is exceeded, this side. Again 128 completes, this side. Like this it will go on cycling. Okay. So 256 plus 128. 7. Up till 378. B is equal to byte of 378. What is the value of 378? It will be I think 370.
26 plus
256, sorry, 256. 6 plus 8 is 14. 1, 6 plus 2, 384. If I write 384, what will be the value? Positive, negative, 256 numbers over. Again positive. So 127 over. So it will swing to minus 128. It will become minus 128. 383 will be I think 127. 383 will be 127 and 384 will become minus 128. Like that it goes on now. Okay. Again if you write B is equal to byte of 512, it will become what? 0. Understood? It will become 0. Like this it will be swinging. But don't think always it will start swinging like this. In fact, if the value is above 256, they have a very powerful mechanism. They use this algorithm. If the value exceeds now 256, what they'll do? First they'll apply. They'll not go on doing positive, negative, positive, negative. So if the value exceeds 257, they'll be taking the modulus ratio of what? 256. 256 ones are 256. What is the remainder? 1. So this, okay, only 1 now. It will move one side and it will become 1. Supposingly if it is 260, again modulus ratio. What is the remainder? 4. So again 4 positions. It will become 4. So internally they will be applying this modulus ratio and they will take the remainder and that value will be stored into your byte. Simply see if the value is big now, 1000, 2000, 3000, they can't go on swinging and cycling like this. So if the value is 1000, what they'll do? They'll divide it by 256. 256, 3s are, 6 3s are 18, 5 3s are 15, 6, 768. What is the remainder? 232. So 232, how it will be stored? You guess now. 0 to 127, 128 numbers over. Again, how many numbers are pending? In 232, 128 numbers are gone. 4. Then 3 minus 2 is 0, 104. So it will start swinging negative side now. From 128 it will move 104 positions this side. And obviously I think it will be minus 14 or something. Minus 14 or something. Understood now? So instead of swinging and cycling like this many times, what they'll do? They'll apply the modulus ratio. So remember, when you're converting a value, when you're typecasting, there's a high possible chance of loss of data. If it is outside the range. If it is within the range, nothing will happen. If the value is outside the range, you will lose the data. Understood? If the value is outside the range, when you are typecasting, when you will be applying typecasting, those examples also I'll give you. Okay, later on we'll see. Sometimes what will happen, the value will be within the range, but still you will be typecasting. When you know, from an int, you want to store to a byte. From an int, you want to store to a byte. That time what happens? The value will be within range, means no conversion, means you will not lose the data. But if the value is outside the range, there's a high possible chance that you might lose the data. So it is up to you. You decide how you want to store the value. Clear? Are you clear with this? Okay. So one more small example I'll give for int and I'll close the class. Okay. Then I'll just try to explain what is size now. I'll complete all these 3 things. Okay. So then I will understand what is size. Clear? Shall I clear all this now? You have any questions?
Sir, if you give value as minus 129 for B.
He wants to give a value of minus 129. It is outside range. It is not possible. Swing to a positive side. You check out actually. You want to give values? Just check out. So it will move and then it might move to positive side. So check. Yeah? I'll type and show you. Some programs I'll type and show you. Yeah? Shall I clear all this? After I complete all this, then I'll type and show for you. Just practice this so that in the next class when I go more deeper into the data types, I'm just giving you intro. Actually, still I have not completed all the data types. A small intro I'm giving to you. See, byte. We'll see two programs here. I'll declare byte A is equal to 0, int B is equal to, or byte X and Y will take. Byte X is equal to 0, Y is equal to 0. Now what I'll do, okay, I'll give X value as 10. I'll give X value as 10. So value of X is what now? 10, Y is what? 0. So now I'll try to give the value of X to Y. This is how you give now. But what is that you are trying to do? You are trying to give the value of X to Y. But what is the type of value? Int. Type of value is what? Int. Type of value. What is the range of value? Yes, it will definitely fall in range for what? Int. Int is having what? 4 bytes capacity. So definitely it will be within the range. Definitely it will be within the range. Okay. So then next is it is within the range. So it will then type of value correct, range is also correct. Size. You are trying to give what? 8 bits into 32 bits. Yes or no? See now, this is how is X. X is actually having 8 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this is how 10. I'll take the value as 5 man, sorry. Because it will be easy for us to study. So 5 is represented as what? 101. And when I declare Y, so it is having actually 32 bits. I can't write all the 32 bits here, just understand. I'll just write the last 8 bits. So this is last 8 bits I'm writing, but you might have here again 24 bits. So totally you have what? 32. So here you are having 8 bits and here you are having 32 bits. And this is Y. End of the day, what are you trying to do? You are trying to copy the value from this memory to this memory. Fine, it will happen. Clearly it will happen. Because see, type of value is correct, range is also correct, as well as size also is correct. You are putting 8 bits into 32 bits, very easily it will copy. Initially all the values will be here 0. Because you are given the value as 0 now. For Y all values will be 0. When you copy it, only these values will change now. The last 8 bits will be copied. Only this last 8 bits will be copied like this. Perfect. And here your compiler compiles. It checks for type of value, it checks for range of value, it also checks for size of value. If all things are correct, it will compile and you will get this output. Done? But the same thing now, see this, I'll do ulta. Byte X, int I, byte X, int I. Now what I'll do? I'll say X is equal to 5. Sorry, X and Y. X is equal to, no, X is equal to 0, Y is equal to 5. What is the value of Y? 5. Ulta, just I made int value as 5 and this one as this. So now I am trying to give the value of Y to X. I want to give the value of Y to X. Type of value is correct. It's of type int. See, till now I was giving the value in a hard-coded way. Byte B is equal to 5 means I was hard-coding and giving the value. But now only thing is I am trying to store it in a variable and give. I have stored some value in Y and that value I am trying to give to X. Fine, type of value is correct now. The next part, range of value. That's also correct. It is within 120's minus 127 and 128, correct. But the problem is size. You can't put 32 bit into 8 bit. That is the problem. You can't put 32 bit into 8 bit. So these are some of the common errors what you do while programming. Yes or no? So what happens? You can't put this into this now. Now scenario has changed. Y is having 5. That you want to copy it into X. So that will not happen. So that's when you start doing typecasting. So how will I do? Same logic. See, a byte of Y. Y gets converted to byte and stored in X. So SOP X and Y you print. Both will be 5 only. Why? It is within the range. No loss of data. It is within the range. No loss of data. But by chance if Y value was 129, int will get converted to 8 bits. From 32 bit first it is converted to 8 bits. Then it checks. Is the value within the range? No. Then it will bring it within the range. Understood? So in your typecasting now, what happens? First it will convert. From 32 bit it is converting to 8 bits. Then it checks is it within the range. If it is outside the range, now it will bring it within the range. You know how it brings now? same process will be applied and it will be minus 127. So here is where loss of data happens. So if it is outside the range, when you are typecasting now, if it is outside the range, loss of data is there. If it is inside the range, data will not be lost. So you should be careful about this. And here, one more thing. So next class I will be giving you more information about all this. This is called as implicit casting and this is called as explicit casting. Casting is of two types, implicit and explicit. End of the day, casting is nothing but converting one data type to another data type only. So here you converted byte value to int value. Here you are trying to convert int value to byte value. So it's very simple. Okay, if you want to give a smaller value to big one, no problem. Implicitly it will happen. Who will do it? Runtime environment. Understood? But if you want to give a bigger value to smaller data type, who has to do it? Developer has to do it. And I'll give you notes for all this in the next class. Just a simple introduction I've given to you about data types. So finally what I wanted to pass the message now, we are trying to store a value into a variable, three things are mandatory. What is it? Type, range, size. And these three things are checked by compiler. That is the message I want to actually give to you now. And if things are not correct, compiler gives you error. Understood? I have to prove now with example. Otherwise how will I make you understand theoretically? Understood? If these three things are correct only, compiler will allow it to compile. And if program is compiled, then you can execute your program. But these three things are ignored. It means the C compiler is not so powerful now. It will try to store any value into any variable, and later on during runtimes you start getting problem. So obviously you can see what a good programming language it is. Are you clear with this? So I'll just type this and show it to you now. Next class we'll be covering more in detail about all this now. Clear? This program, and I'll type and show you these programs. Clear? Shall I clear all this? Notes I'll give, man. Implicit casting, explicit casting, I have to give you notes. Okay, so I'll type and show you all these programs now. Are you clear with this? Shall I clear? So Java is called as a strictly type checked language. Type checking it will do. When you are compiling only it will check. Are you giving the correct value to the correct variable? And for coding, as I told you, you can go with what? Edit Plus itself. It will be very comfortable for you. So open Edit Plus, file, new Java program. You can give the class name as what? Byte demo. D should be caps. Checking for type byte now, so just type byte demo. So give good names. Tomorrow when you look at your program, you should know what it contains. All demo means later on only demo will happen. So what you are trying to type there, give good names, because you will be organizing in folder, but in that folder what is that program doing? Correct, no? So write like this. So save it now, byte demo dot Java. Yes, and first check whether it works or not. Always make it a habit. Compile, execute. Because you have very bad habit. What you do? First line to last line fully you will type and you try to compile. And if it doesn't do a compile, what will you check for? One favorite error you will check. Where is semicolon missing? That's not the way you type. Understood? In fact, the semicolon error you should never search now. Are you getting the idea now? This is your general practice of coding now what? From top to bottom type whatever, however it is, because the problem is you are coding without thinking. That is why I am going with all these basics. This is nothing but in fact I am teaching you C syntax. This is pure C syntax I am teaching you. Once I complete C syntax, I will move into oops. So comfortably you can learn. Okay, so see this now. It is done. Now I will go with byte b is equal to 0 initially I will give, and if you want you can print. So what will be the result? 0. Initially it's within the range. Numeric. Size also is correct. Okay. So it will take it as and it will print it now. No issues. Compile it and it will execute. 0. Now I will start changing the value. I told you now. See, b is equal to us having a value of what? 0. It is having a value of 0, but it overrides. The 7 value is given to b now. It overrides. So assignment operator is very powerful. Sorry, I didn't print it. So again I can print now. 7. Perfect. Then I'll try to give some other value. What value you want? I'll give 115. Positive value. Still it executes. No issue. Compiles and executes. I'll try to give minus 115. Still it will compile. Because it's within the range, still it will execute. Everything is working fine here. But as soon as I go outside the range, problems will start. It is outside the range now? Yes or no? So compile. See there. Better now. Otherwise, you can see what happens. Whatever value it wants, it will store. During runtime, it will give some junk value. So it is here detected. So now you can debug it. So what is the problem? Loss of precision. Found int means it's giving trying to give some message to you. It's of type int. Why are you trying to store it into byte? These errors you'll understand slowly. Understood? So better is saying you store this value in int. It's giving a recommendation. Better you store this value in int data type. No, but still I want to store this value in byte only. Yes, you can do it, but with help of typecasting. But there is loss of data. There is loss of data. Whenever you means when the value goes outside the range, when will there be loss of data? Only when the value is outside the range, there will be loss of data. So let's see now. How do you do it? So this is the syntax now. You should convert now. Byte. Valid. So just compile and see what is the result. Minus 127. Perfect. So like this you can go on checking. Okay, so 129. So if you want you can check with what? 131 I wrote. Fine. It is minus 120. Fine. It starts moving now. 128, 127, 126, 125. 4 times it will move. Yes or no? From 3 values. 128 no? 129. Sorry, from 128 start. It will go to negative side. Minus 128, minus 127, minus 126, minus 125. So like that it goes on. You can sit and type and check this. 256 will be 0 now. I'll make it as 257. It will become what? Plus 1. See, plus 1 it is. So I'll make 260. It will become what? Plus 4. Like this you can type. Very easy now. See, are you finding any difficulty in coding now? If you use edit plus, it becomes faster. Understood? So if there is a bigger value, 1000, I predicted some result. I don't know. Just check it out now. But you know now the modulus rate shall be applied. Simply it will not swinging positive, negative, positive, negative. Once the value exceeds 256, before 256 it will do that positive, negative. Whatever remainder comes now, for that it will start applying. Remainder comes now, positive, negative, that cycle it will apply. Instead of why should it cycle for many times, those many times. If you see 1000 is there. Now instead of cycling those many times, if it is applying modulus ratio, 3 rounds are eliminated now. So this is the algorithm they are using. That's it. So whatever remainder comes now. What is the value I got? 256. 6 3s are 18. 5 3s are 15, 16, 768. Remainder is 232. So now for this, positive, negative will be applied. Swinging will happen. Instead of swinging for a full 1000 numbers, it will swing for only 232 numbers. So let's see the result. I think minus 24. Getting it now? So this is how it will happen. Clear this? And you had a question. What is that? Minus of 129. What will happen? So let's see. So it will not allow. So you have to do what? Typecasting. Let's see what happens if I typecast minus 129. Compiles. It has moved towards the positive side, this side. Understood? Minus 1, again it will swing to this side, this end. End to end it will swing. Understood? From negative side it moves towards the positive side, but end, not in the middle. It will not go to 0 and 1, 2, 3. Clear? So any other questions? And one more, this one int we saw, int, typecasting. So what I'll do, you can comment now, don't delete everything, whatever you want. See, you'll be observing some things. Whatever you observe, you write it in comment and keep it, so that tomorrow it will be helpful to you. Don't go on changing the same program. This is how you have to type, okay? Because later on you will be referring to your own program. You'll have doubts, you can find it easily. So next, see this, int x is equal to 5. First I will go with byte. Byte x is equal to 5. Int y is equal to 0. Now I will give the value. Y is equal to x. Else a value of x is plus x, and I will print the value of y also. So these are very simple mistakes what you do, very simple mistakes, because your value will be something, you will try to give the value to some variable and unnecessarily you will get errors. Understood? Store the value and variable in the proper types. So this is where you will get confidence in coding. Understood? See, I will code now, perfectly it works. But the same I will do ulta, nothing I am doing. So I will comment, retain this, don't remove this off, because you want to compare now this program with the other one. So what you do? Now right now it is easy, I can manipulate here only. Byte I can make int I can make byte, I can check it out. But maintain it so that you can compare both the programs. So now what you do? This I will change it to what? Int. And this I will make it as byte. So now let's run the program. Same thing, nothing else, only int and byte I changed. See, sorry, here this error is there, I'll remove it. Yes. Possible loss of precision, it's finding int there, found int. It is finding int there. Actually what is it required? Here actually byte is required. So it's saying give the byte value. Understood? So it clearly tells you. So if you want to give either byte value or you typecast. So now there will be not loss of data. Why there will be not loss of data? Because it is within range. So see, in this place we were doing the casting is happening. Here also casting is happening, but it happens implicitly. The runtime environment will take care. The runtime environment will take care to do the conversion now. Okay, from smaller to, means we are giving the value from smaller value to bigger data type, no problem. Implicitly happen. But if you are trying to give the value from bigger data type to smaller variable, explicitly you have to do. Understood? Notes I'll give you, don't worry. Just I showed you the output now. Yeah? So let's compile. Fine, it executes, it's within range and there's no loss of data. But by chance, if it is outside the range, like 260 I'll take. You know this value. And now see what happens. It will become 4. There is loss of data. Because it cannot fit within that 1 byte. It cannot store that value itself. Are you clear with this? Okay, as simple as this. Yes, any questions?
So in first line you have written as byte b is equal to 0.
Yes.
Next you have declared as b is equal to 7. What happens if we declare as byte b is equal to 7?
Okay, his question is very simple. I told you. There is something called as scope in all languages, not only in Java. So what happens is, the same thing what I told you earlier, he is asking that question. We'll comment all this. Okay, I have declared, 1 second, I'll comment this also. I have said byte b is equal to 0 first, then I am saying what? B is equal to 7. Fine, if I compile, it will work, no issues. Okay, but at the same time, if I try to write byte b is equal to 7, what happens? Is this question. And these are your very common mistakes. Such silly it is. Okay, see this, control 1, error. Why? B is already defined. You already declared it. Why do you want to declare it again? Understood? You can declare another variable. So once you declare a variable, you can only use it, but you can't redeclare it. Use it. See, this is using. This is using. Understood? But don't try to redeclare it again. If you want to store another, if you want another variable, declare. Language is given, because if finally what will happen, if it allows when you try to print SOPB, which one should it print now? So that's why they develop the compiler like that. See, supposedly I store one value in which one? 0 value I am storing in which one? B. And 10 value, 7 value again I am trying to store in B. It will get conflicted. Finally when you print, which one should it print? So it will not allow you. If you really want to store 7, either you overwrite or you store it in another variable. Another variable, byte C is equal to 7. Both values you want, use another variable. Both values if you want. You don't want, you want to overwrite, use the same variable. That's the difference. Are you clear with this now? If you want both the variables, declare another variable. No, I'm not interested in this value. I want to overwrite. Fine. This is overwriting. Don't write again. Your option. You lose the value. That's all. 10 value is lost. And you cannot use it for further programming. That's all will happen. Done? Any other questions? So this is introduction to data types. Clear? Next class we'll see more in detail about all the data types. We'll see which one short, int, long, float. One if you understand more than sufficient. Same rules will be applied for what? All other data types. There we only have to understand the size and the range. That's it. Yeah? That's it. Any questions? No? That's it.